Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Steelman, Director of Alumni Career Management and Professional Networks at W&M Webinar, and I'm delighted to welcome you to this afternoon's webinar, 16 Things You Can Do to Get More Referrals. Today's webinar is part of the William & Mary Alumni Webinar Series and is made possible by the support of the William & Mary Alumni Association. As we seek to provide relevant programming for our lifelong commitment to our alumni, we welcome any feedback and ideas to make this a valuable resource for you. Today's presentation is being recorded and will be available online following today's session. Just a few housekeeping items. It's important to note that if you are experiencing any audio or video difficulties, to please call the Adobe Connect technical support number at 1-800-422-3623. Also, questions are welcome throughout today's presentation. Our presenter will answer as many questions as time will allow at the end of his presentation. Please just submit your questions by typing in the Q&A box just below the PowerPoint box. And throughout the webinar, I will monitor these questions and share them with our presenter at the end of his presentation. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce our guest presenter today. Victor Clarke began a 30-plus year career in sales and marketing with Xerox Corporation following his graduation from our very own William & Mary. He has sold copiers, word processing systems, computers, print, mail, and graphic design. He advanced from a streetwise salesperson to the director of federal, state, local, and education sales for both a computer hardware and a software company to the owner of his own company. In fact, he was the person behind the sale and installation of the first laptops to the House of Representatives and desktops to the Senate. He has been the owner of Clarke Inc. for 20 plus years, evolving it from a dedicated print shop to an integrated marketing firm. In addition to being a husband, father of 2 boys, and the owner of Clarke Inc., he is greatly involved in the community as a bass player in a rock and roll cover band, a high school football and lacrosse official, a little league coach, and a member of various nonprofits in his community. We are truly delighted to have Victor join us this afternoon from Moneta, Virginia, to share his advice on referrals and how we can all strengthen our tribe network. Thank you so much, Victor.
I'm here, and I'm sure the very first question everybody has is, where in the world is Moneta, Virginia? If you've ever been to beautiful Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia is where Moneta is. So, Michael, thank you for the opportunity to do this webinar today. Just a quick aside, Michael and I were connected. He also does the William & Mary Online Networking Hour, which he was too humble to mention at the beginning of this. But I highly encourage you all to participate in that, because it's a great opportunity to practice a lot of the things I want to talk about today in this webinar that I've retitled now 17 Things You Can Do to Get More Referrals. So let's see if I can make the slides advance. There we go. Michael, we've got a couple questions here. If you want to go ahead and put them up real quick, there's 3 quick questions we'd like you to kind of take a look at. If you can give us some quick answers, help guide the direction we want to go. Do you currently or have you ever belonged to a referral group? Have you ever taken a class at any level in referral marketing? And then the last question there, Michael, is, do you have a plan to receive referrals on purpose, not by chance? So far it looks like it's about 50-50 who folks have belonged to a referral group before. Those people seem to be getting their referrals by, well, it's about half now. But mainly it's by chance, and a few have managed to take a class on referral marketing. If you've ever been a member of one of the bigger referral groups, Business Network International, and they have a couple good classes you can take on referral marketing. So overall, people are looking to the answers here, are in a referral group, more so getting referrals by chance, not on purpose, and have not really been trained in referral marketing. So that gives me a little guidance. Okay, you can take them off the screen, Michael. The number one, if you remember, let me give you one thing to think about as we go through this next couple minutes here on referral marketing, is stop thinking about referrals as done deals. I think A lot of us have been misled to believe that if you're in a referral group, you don't need to sell anymore. That the 25 or 30 members in my group are just like a sales team to me, and I don't have to do anything. Well, that could not be farther from the truth. You still have to sell. You still have to close the deal. You still have to overcome the objections. Only you know your product well. Don't count on your referral group members or referral partners, whoever it may be, to know everything about your business. It's okay. In fact, I would encourage you to be referred at the top of the sales funnel. You know, we're all, for those of us in sales and marketing, you've got the sales funnel. You know, you got a big top. People enter it, they kind of fall down, and then down at the narrow, skinny end of the funnel, you get a couple sales pop out at the bottom. Start thinking about referral being referred in to the top of the funnel, not as a closed deal. In fact, if you're in finance or insurance, you can't get a closed deal because you have to have the license to sign the contract. So keep that in mind as we go through this. A lot of the things I'm going to talk about, you're going to think, I learned this in kindergarten. And the answer is yes, you did. I'm just going to remind you about the things you forgot that you learned in kindergarten. And referral marketing works for anybody, anywhere, anytime, any place. You can use referral marketing, obviously, to grow your business, to bring cash into your business, but you can use referral marketing to gather relationships where you can gather information, to use people to bounce ideas off of, to kind of learn the scuttlebutt of what's going on in the community. So by making these connections, it's more than just about closing the sale, making the money part. You can use it to gather information. And it works for all types of businesses, where it's B2B, B2C. I've seen nonprofits be tremendously successful in referral marketing groups. And in fact, if you kind of look at the data now, and there's the terms B2B and B2C are really evolving into H2H, which is human to human. There's not getting to be much difference in marketing to consumers or marketing to businesses. It's just, we're all human beings. It's human to human. Let me give you a couple stats to think about. The first stat is, if you're in sales, you probably know it's just getting harder and harder to make that contact with the person. You know you've got the product to help them, and it's just absolutely frustrating that you just can't seem to get that person to pick up the phone, answer an email, respond to a written letter. Maybe you send them a letter, Federal Express or UPS, they're just not responding. It's just harder and harder to make that sale. So let me give you a couple stats to think about of why this job in sales and marketing is getting harder and harder. Microsoft did a study about 2 years ago, and trying to figure out what is the human being's attention span. And they determined, and this is arguable and it's debatable, and people have said not true, but just kind of take it with a grain of salt, but that Microsoft came up with the human being's attention span is 7 seconds. A goldfish's attention span is 8 seconds. So you're dealing with individuals who have an attention span shorter than a goldfish. That's the first thing you need to remember. Another thing you need to remember is that 50 to 60%, the buyers are 50 to 60% down the purchase path before they will ever reach out to a human being. They're doing all their research online, Googling things. Think about what you do when you look for a product. I'm sure what's the first thing you do? You pick up that little cell phone and start Googling, looking up information. They're doing the same thing to your company. So you have fewer time to catch their attention to get in on the up front of the buying path, because buyers are self-educating now, and they will do just about anything to avoid human contact. The only time they're going to reach out to you is when they have exhausted all sources of DIY information to learn about your product or service. And then the last thing you need to remember is Gartner Group put out a study that by the year 2020, 85% of all business transactions will be conducted without human contact. Now, that's not just closing deals, that's just gathering information, going back and forth. So you can see it's just going to get nothing but more and more difficult to get a buyer's attention to learn about your product or service. Sales is definitely getting harder. Referrals make it easier to get up front, to get in the beginning of that buying funnel and getting their attention. You know, you can buy attention with advertising, you can beg attention with PR, or you can bug attention with sales, or be referred in to that customer by somebody that they know and trust. So let's think about some things. The number one thing that you need to remember is you need to always be giving. If you want referrals, you have to give first. You have to care about your customer apart from your personal benefit. And that's a friend of mine, Mike Garrison, has a company, and that's a quote from him, is that you truly have to care. You really have to have empathy for your customer. You really want to help. Honestly, not all people are capable of doing that, and that's okay. There's other ways to get their attention and to get in and earn their trust. So it's okay if you're not a warm fuzzy kind of person, maybe you're an introverted person, that referrals may not be for you. But if you truly want referrals to marketing and sales to work for you, you have to truly care about the customer first and yourself second. You need to help, don't sell. First screen here. Let's start. I gave you a worksheet. Hopefully you were able to download it. Did we put that up, Michael? I think I forgot to mention that up there. That PDF worksheet. Did you? Is it there? Yeah, it's there for everybody.
It's up there now. I had it up earlier. You're on.
Okay. Hopefully everybody had a chance to download it now. I gave you a little worksheet to kind of work along and fill in the blanks. So let's go through here and start filling in some blanks. Of the 17 best ways to get more referrals. Number one, join a referral group that meets on a regular basis. Weekly is best. The reason for that is people don't refer you because they like you. People don't refer you because they trust you. People don't refer you because they know you. Think about your mother. Your mother likes you, knows you, trusts you. How many referrals do you get from your mother? You get referrals because people remember to refer you. You have to be top of mind, be in their face so that they remember to refer you. So if you can find a group that meets weekly, that's always best so that you can stay top of mind to get the referrals that you're looking for. Second thing, make sure that the referral group follows an agenda and starts and stops on time. You want a referral group that's not a coffee klatch. You don't want them to be a gossip group. You want a referral group that runs like a business meeting. All successful, well-run business meetings have an agenda, and it's followed. And the meeting starts on time and stops on time, so that you can plan your day. So that maybe you might want to bring a visitor to that group meeting, and they have to plan their day. The last thing somebody wants is a meeting to start late and then extend on past another appointment they have. Then, of course, that applies to you too. You need to be on time to the meeting. Because one of the things that you're doing in these referral groups is you are developing trust to go along with the remember part of referring you. If I have a person who's constantly late for meetings, comes unprepared for the meetings, how confident would you be in passing a referral to them? So always start and stop on time. Show up early to every referral group meeting. Not only come on time, but show up early. I've seen some great referrals come from people who act like they are in charge of the meeting. Even particularly, I've seen some folks go maybe to some trade shows and stand at the door. They may have absolutely nothing to do with the trade show management company, but they stand at the door and act like they do. They get some great referrals by being early and acting like they're in charge. Show up to the meetings early. Bring referrals for other members. Your referral account is a lot like your checking account. You've got to make more deposits than withdrawals. If you want referrals, you've got to give referrals first. And kind of goes back to my thought about, or Mike Garrison's thought about, you have to care about your customer apart from your personal benefit. Help somebody first. The more you help them, there's something in the human psyche when you do a favor for somebody, passing a referral, for instance. There's something about the human psyche that has the need to say, I need to reciprocate. I need to return that favor. So if you pass a referral, hopefully they're going to feel like they're going to need to pass a referral back to you. Use other members' products and services. I mean, what a great way to learn more about your referral partner is to use their products and services, to know how good they are at what they do. Maybe, for example, it's a chiropractor. And I even, if you're a chiropractor, you might want to give away, a 10-minute consultation or session or adjustment, and let people get an idea of exactly what it is you do. Then send them out into the world and talk about what the great things are that you do and adjustments and how it solves some of your issues. In your business, display other members' marketing materials in your business, particularly if you are in a retail association and you have a counter, a place to display other members' business cards up there. Maybe you have a bulletin board or something that you can pin the other members' business cards up there. Maybe it's not necessarily a referral group member. Maybe it's one of your best customers who may not happen to be in a referral relationship with you. But if you can get business for them, wouldn't that be great for your business? If you could help your best customer's business grow by putting their materials at your place. And obviously, if they buy more, they're going to buy more from you. So whenever you can, display your referral group members' materials in your business. And I said a lot about referrals, but I haven't really talked much about a lead. So what is the difference between a lead and a referral? A lead, well, let's talk about a referral, is when your referral partner has talked you up to a friend of theirs, an associate, a supplier, a customer of theirs, has explained your product and service enough that the other business person says, yeah, I'm interested in learning more. I would like to meet with, say, for example, Victor Clarke. I would like to learn more about his business. That person has affirmatively said, I want, expect, and am willing to receive a phone call from your referral partner. That's a referral. Anything other than that is a lead. You don't want to be in groups for just leads. You want to be in groups for referrals so that you know when you pick up the phone and call that person's name you've been given, they are fully expecting your phone call and are willing to sit down and have an appointment with you. And I think we got another survey question here, Michael, just kind of real quick. Those of you, now that we've defined the difference between a lead and a referral, how many of you all think you've been receiving referrals versus how many of y'all think you have been receiving leads? Let's see. Overwhelmingly, 100% of the people believe they have been receiving leads rather than referrals. So let's talk a little bit about how you can make sure that you're receiving referrals rather than leads. Set aside some time each week to meet with your referral partners. Most of the referral process is going to happen out of your referral meeting or maybe outside of business. Just for example, I usually spend a couple hours each week looking for referrals for my customers, my referral partners, my referral group. Because there's a couple I know if I can get them referrals, we play a game called Hot Potato. That I know if I pass a referral to them at some point in some time, that same referral is going to come back to me. So make sure this is a process. It can't be haphazard. It can't be by chance. It can't be by luck. You have to set aside time each week to meet with your referral partners and explain to them exactly the kind of referral you're looking for. And if it's somebody that's not familiar with the referral process, make sure you share your definition of a lead versus a referral. That you're really looking for referrals. Again, like I just said, set aside time each week to actively work on generating referrals for your partners. Handle every referral you receive like gold. And it's the old Boy Scout rule of leave the campfire, leave the forest in better shape than you found it. This is going to be the hardest part for your referral partners, is to actually pass a referral, because people will protect their reputation, which is what's on the line when you pass a referral, is your reputation. People are likely to protect their reputation as much as their life. They have to know that you're going to treat that referral like gold. And the number one thing you need to make sure of is not whether you're going to get closed business out of this. The number one thing is you need to relieve that relationship better than it was given to you. Your job is to make sure that your referral partner looks good to the person they referred them to. You have to talk them up and make sure that they know that this person who referred you, who passed the referral, is probably the best vendor that they have. You need to actively support them, because if you mess this up, there's going to be trouble in paradise. There's going to be hell to pay. You may never get another referral you won't get another referral if you mess this up. So you need to treat every referral like gold. You also need to make sure you treat the referral giver by the platinum rule, meaning that you need to treat them how they want to be treated. If you want to give them a gift or a reward, make sure it's something that they want and need. So treat the referrals like gold, treat the giver like platinum. Make the person who gave you the referral look like a rock star to the customer. We just talked about that. Keep going back to the golden goose, and I will say that with a caveat. You don't want to wear the golden goose out. But if you have somebody who's given you one good referral, don't just say thanks and walk away. Go back and say, hey, that was a great referral. How did you do that? What did you do? Who else do you know like this? Can we do this again? Find out how they gave the referral, and talk about how to keep going back to the golden goose. You need to make it easy for your group members to refer you and build that golden goose. The easiest way to get more referrals is to be specific. The more specific you are, the more referrals you're going to get. And I've had a lot of people argue this point, saying, "Oh, I can't be specific. You know, I've got to cast a wide net to get everybody I want." But you know, if you're asking for everything from everybody, you'll get what you're asking for, which is nothing. You're making it too difficult for your referral partners to find you the referral that you're looking for. Think of it as the old-fashioned days. There used to be a thing that sat on your desk called a Rolodex with a lot of cards and tabs by the alphabet. And if I were, let's say I were selling copiers, or let's say I'm a realtor, I'm looking for anybody who's looking to buy a house. Well, who doesn't know somebody who may be in the market for looking to buy a house? So I'm kind of flipping through that mental Rolodex in my head, looking for names, and it's just I know hundreds, if not thousands of people. And I can't even make it through the A's in the alphabet before I'm exhausted, and I just stop looking for you. But if you tell me specifically the type of family that you're looking for, an area of a house you might have for sale, that I think somebody is looking to move to, it makes it so much easier for me to go flip through that mental Rolodex in my head and find the person you're looking for. So the more specific you can be, the better it is. In fact, if you can name names of people you're looking for, that makes it even easier on your referral partners. Another thing I do personally, something to consider, is I have set up a private landing page on my website. So my referral partners, I don't want them working too hard for me. I just want to say, if you find somebody who's interested in my product or service, give them this web address and let them go to my web page, and it's a specific welcome page with specific information for referrals that I receive. So all I ask my referral partners to do is hand out this web page address. You can't see it if you're just doing a Google search. It's a private page. You got to type it in directly. And I've just made it easier for them to pass referrals to me. And then the other thing you got to remember is you've got to find partners that are willing to refer you. Not everybody wants to refer you. Maybe they just won't, or maybe some just don't know how. And that's where it comes into sitting down with the weekly meetings, giving them referrals so that they learn how to refer you. The other way to get more referrals is to give feedback on the referrals you receive. If it's a great referral, you might be able to turn them into a golden goose. If it's a bad referral, or maybe even if it's a lead, you need to give feedback and explain why that was good or bad. Most people, I think, are not malicious or not mean. They don't mean to be messing with you. They just didn't know. They didn't understand. So help go back and educate them on why that was a good referral. Let's do it again. Let's build a golden goose. Or if it was a bad referral, why it was not a great referral, how we can fix it, and what we can do next time to make it better. Then a lot of folks ask me, what's the number one thing you can do to get more referrals? And it's follow up on every referral you receive, no matter how good or bad it may be, whether it's a lead or a referral. You always have to follow up on those referrals. If you want more, you've got to follow up. If I worked my butt off, you specifically asked for a name of a person from me. You're my referral partner, and you've told me, man, I've been trying to get into Joe Smith forever and ever and ever. I can't get him to return a phone call, email. I've tried carrier pigeon. I've tried everything. And I said, you know what? I play golf with him every Saturday. I'll get you an appointment with him. And I go out and I spend 5 hours with Joe riding around in the cart, and I get him to agree and say, yes, I want to meet your friend. I want to talk to him, and I'm feeling good about myself. and I pass that referral to you, and then you never, ever follow up, what does that make me feel like? And then I've got my golfing buddy Joe Smith saying, hey, how about that guy you told me was going to help me grow my business? He's never called me. I mean, you've made me look bad. And I'm never, ever going to work on following up for another referral for you ever again. So this, of all the things we've listed here, of all the things you can do to get more referrals, this is absolutely the number one thing you can do to get more referrals, is to follow up on every referral you receive. And just a little personal aside, as I was preparing for this webinar, I started going back looking at some of my customers. There's a customer I've had. I got him via referral in 2008. So I've had him for, if you count 2008, the first year, so it's 10 years I've had him. Over those 10 years, they've accounted for $230,000 in business over 10 years for me, just personally, because I followed up. And it's a buffalo farm in Hurt, Virginia, if you've ever been there. So you never, ever know where your referrals are going to come from. A buffalo beef farm in Hurt, Virginia. I said at the beginning we were going to make this 17 things. So here's a bonus 17. Way to get more referrals is to practice propinquity. The definition of propinquity is proximity and frequency. It was a study done back in the late 50s by some scientists. I think it was at MIT, just trying to determine how did people get connected, how did they know each other, and they went into freshman dorm halls, and they found out that, and I can think it's true today, DuPont Second West are still my buddies, that I'm still closer friends with those guys because we were all in the same hall together. And if you were lucky to live at the ends of the hall where the stairways were, you were more likely to be friends with the people on the other floors, on the third floor, or, coming down the steps. So because you were constantly bumping into people all the time, you were always beside them, and you were frequently running into them. So to get more referrals, you need to start practicing propinquity. If you get a chance, pick up the book Invisible Sale by Tom Martin. He focuses a lot on inbound marketing, but I would classify referral marketing as part of inbound marketing, and he talks about propinquity in the Invisible Sale. So some things you need to do to practice propinquity to get more referrals. You need to start attending meetings. You need to get out there in the world and start going to conferences, shows, training events, bumping into each other on purpose. Now we're here in the 21st century. You need to start bumping into people online. You need to start joining and participating in groups on LinkedIn and Facebook, and posting on Instagram and Twitter, and actually sharing and responding, actually trying to put a human element into your responses in social media. And when you post things up there, don't be a salesperson on social media. Don't be a salesperson when you're out at networking events or trade shows. Try to help people. Going back again to what Mike Garrison said, you've got to be willing to help people first. Provide educational and helpful content. Interact at these events. Don't talk to the same people all the time, or be a wallflower. One thing I learned from a Business Network International when I was a member there, they talked about going to trade shows. Bring a wingman or wing woman, wing person with you when you go to a trade show and walk the aisle. And my job is to introduce my wingman to everybody I know at the trade show. His or her job is to introduce me to everybody they know. And we try to set a goal of saying, hey, we need to get each other 5 referrals before we go hit the bar at the end of the trade show. And it works great, to go out and interact with people and just trade business cards. Don't sell, just get the conversation going. Then you can call back later and try to set up the appointment. Um, there's 5 types of groups you need to consider joining. I would suggest to start to begin to practice propinquity. One is referral groups that we've talked about a lot here. Business referral groups, like Business Network International, or maybe you have a little personal group in your local community that meets on a regular basis. You can join. Join your trade association. Become a member of the board, participate in the meetings, meet your peers. Maybe you can share some business back and forth. Maybe they have a machine or lacking a machine that you have that they can share some business with you. Join a civic association like the Kiwanis. They get out there and start to meet people in a civic association. Join service organizations like the JCs. And women's groups. Sometimes women's groups let the guys in. If you're a guy in a women's group, you're memorable. You look a little different than everybody else. So, if the ladies will let the guys in, join women's groups. So get out there, get out from behind the desk, get out from behind the windshield of the car, get out there and start to meet some people. And learn who they are, what they do, and how you can help them. Years ago, I joined the local Youth Rec Association here as a board member, and managed to become very good friends with a guy who is on the county supervisors board. So if I need a favor, I know where to go to. So let's switch back here. We had another poll question there, didn't we, Michael, about some different ways maybe to share some ideas that you all are getting out there and bumping into people on purpose and practicing propinquity. Any thoughts on some of the things that you've done? A few people have put up chamber boards. Your church is good. Other nonprofit organizations. I've known a lot of folks that are in the financial world have gone and joined the board of a nonprofit, because think about most of the volunteers on a nonprofit board. They usually tend to have a little bit of extra cash laying around. So if you're in a finance situation, they go ahead and do it. Peace Corps volunteer networks, yeah, there's all kinds that are out there. Find an organization you want to be a member of. Maybe it's just go be a youth coach or something. I'm a high school football official, lacrosse official. There's a lot of guys I've met in those groups. The tribe, absolutely. Yep, that's right. So William & Mary's, here's another shamelessly promotion for the William & Mary Online Networking Hour from Michael. Go to that. That's a great place to meet other tribe members to share some business. All right, I think. All right, let's go ahead and take that off, Michael. We'll go ahead and move on here. All right. Let me give you one closing thought here to remember. Is you need to make referral marketing a channel, just like direct mail, radio, TV, and social media. If you're working with a marketing or advertising vendor who doesn't understand how to make referrals a channel, just like radio, TV, direct mail, you've got the wrong agency. You can use these channels to support referral marketing, but you've got to be able to have a system where you can go out, measure, and predict the referrals you can receive. When you've done it long enough, you can almost begin to predict when you can receive them. You can almost actually use it like a spigot to turn it off and on. If you've got the right relationships. When you're running short on business, You can turn that spigot on. When you've got enough to keep you busy, you can turn your spigot off. The key is, though, you've got to get started on it now. You can't just turn that spigot on if you're short on business by running out and visiting and joining all these associations and doing all these trade shows. You've got to do the work in advance right now, um, and get those relationships set up so you can turn that spigot on and off. And then we got one other survey question here, Michael, you put up there. How many of you all currently track referrals as a marketing channel like you do for direct mail, radio, TV? How many of y'all are able to do that right now? 100% no. Well, we got one yes there, but majority is most of you all are no. It's not tracked, and I think it's because none of us, not or most of us, have not had a marketing class. We sat in business classes and we talked about direct mail and talked about radio and TV. Social media is coming now into more marketing classes to talk about how that works, but there really is nothing about how to set up a referral marketing channel as part of your business. So I encourage you to get out there, practice Pinquity, start meeting some folks. If you can find some classes where you can learn more about referral marketing, get out there and do it. Any questions on anything we've talked about here? You can probably pull the poll down now, Michael, so if anybody has any questions on what we've talked about.
Victor, I want to first say thank you for a great plug for the online networking and for taking the time to prepare today's webinar and take lessons of your career of 30 plus years of everything from sales in federal to in state to your current company, and how I think the tribe in general can benefit from just good relationship building in the professional world, whether you're in sales itself or just thinking about how do you build strong networks to help others and help others help you. And one thing I want to say about the online networking and the feedback I've received from the thousands of alumni, sharing their feedback from these monthly sessions. There's a few times where people come across too sales oriented and too pushy on their sales, and I hear that from alumni. And so I think Victor's point is don't go in an 8-minute text chat, don't go making it sound like you're a salesperson. Make it that you're interested in what they're doing and how you can help them, and learn more about what each other is doing. So that way, right off the bat, you're thinking help as opposed to client or business. And I think that really, when I heard over the past 30 minutes, I think you were really key on the empathy of other, like making sure that you can provide something of help to them, whether it's literally what you offer in your expertise or a friend of yours in your own network can help them.
Right.
And so I just
more annoying than going for the kill right at the first introduction.
Exactly. And so I think if we want those programs to be even more successful, that we all have to be practicing that mindset in those and encouraging others that participate in doing so as well. So a couple questions here. First off, are customers the best referral source, or do you have other recommendations?
Customers are absolutely a good referral source. Are they the best referral source? Not necessarily. Go back and look at maybe some of the organizations we talked about that you belong to. Look at friends and neighbors. Go back and look at your suppliers. I think your suppliers would probably be really interested in passing some referrals to you, because more business for you should be more business for them. So customers are good, but they are not necessarily the best way to go. I would say the best thing is to find a person who is willing to help you, and you really need to have just a candid conversation with them and say, hey, I'm trying to set up a referral marketing channel. I'm measuring my results. Are you willing to help me? I want to help you. Are you willing to help me? And if they say yes, that's the best source to go to.
Great. Before we ask another question, I'm going to take this moment just to jump in with a survey. So there's two things here. There's a survey which I will open in everyone's browser. And the going back to the, so hopefully in the next 10 minutes or so, you can complete this pretty quick survey just to give us some feedback on today's presentation and the program and any ideas for future webinars. But I also put on there a LinkedIn group discussion that Victor started about today's webinar in one of our LinkedIn groups. And I got this idea just now because an alumnus who's very active, Paul Hickman, sent me an email just now saying, we're on a referral webinar. How can we help refer knowledge about each other, just knowing who's participating. And rather than just sending out a big list of names and emails, I'd rather make this a little more personal and using a tool like LinkedIn. So I recommend that each of you that participates today and in the recording to go on to the discussion here and to comment and to share a little bit about how you can help one another and utilize LinkedIn in this discussion as a great way to do so. And just as a little plug for some things down the road, I've also got a site, which I'll also add to this, but I wanted to give some context, called Switchboard, that we are creating for alumni to help one another, fellow alumni, to alumni business asks, offers, connects. So I'll put the site up here. I encourage all of you to join, to think about how you can help one another, what ways you can share, what knowledge you have, opportunities that you know, businesses. Um, and so I'll put that site up there in a sec, but I just wanted to also encourage the LinkedIn group discussion as a great vehicle for this particular audience to connect. But I hope that you'll also connect on the switchboard and help others beyond just today's audience. Um, with that, Victor, another question here while we're back to the presentation here. What unique ways have you seen out there? You mentioned your private landing page on the website, but what are some of the things that you've been fortunate enough from, others that you've admired in your business world, or things that you wish you could do but you couldn't afford, or things that you've seen out there that are very unique to a certain industry that you would love to share with others, just as ideas to kind of get them thinking about best practices out there?
Some unique ways to network. Is that
Yeah, whether that's like a way that people have thanked their clients or past referral, groups, and ways that are is it tchotchkes or is it just a nice thank you card? Is it a phone call? What are the things that you found to be uh, resonate the most in this community?
well, I would say never fail, no matter how big, small, indifferent the referral is, to say thank you, either in person or a written card. Please don't email me and please don't text me thank you. Just tell me to my face or send me a written note or card. Never fail to do that. I've heard stories of a realtor who made his own wine, and it was so good, people were passing him referrals because they wanted that wine he made. It needs to be something personal. I would say thanking people with cash or swag. It's not very personal. It needs to be something personal from you, but also needs to be something that they want. Again, going back to the platinum rule, something that they like. Um, giving somebody who's just a beer drink or a bottle of wine may not work. But if it's like wine and it's wine you made, that's a great way to say thank you to somebody. You've personalized it, and all the way up to, I've heard the story of a fellow who got a great referral, and he took his referral. He had a couple of referrals, and he took his referral partners. That this is a finance company, investment company, and took his referral partners on a fly fishing trip. And he got Orvis to donate the rods, because when the Orvis store owner heard the types of people that were going on this fishing trip, he realized they have a lot of money. Yeah, I'll donate this to you. So they come into my store and learn about it, and got the Range Rover dealer to let them borrow a car to drive to the fly fishing stream, because of course the Range Rover dealer is like, these guys got a lot of money. So you can go from a thank you to a bottle of wine to a fly fishing trip with Orvis gear driven by a Range Rover.
Love the stories and ideas there. So really, just be creative and innovative with your
Yeah,
ways that make sense with
be
your
creative.
business.
Don't give cash. Don't say, hey, a discount on your next product you buy from me. That's not a very good reward. Be creative. Make it personal from you, but personal something that they like.
And so, another question, again, if you have a question in the Q&A box, please just type it in and we'll get to them as in the next 5 minutes or so. What technology do you recommend that people use to help manage your relationship? So obviously LinkedIn is a great tool and there's some features about that, but do you find that you have a particular platform, whether a Salesforce level or not as expensive platform that you recommend that people invest into, or are there some free products out there that you found helpful to really manage these relationships and make them still personalized in a way that you know you don't feel like you know your network is 1,000 plus people. It's
Yeah.
really how do you do that?
I would definitely invest in some type of CRM, customer relationship management software. It can be simple, something as simple and free as Outlook's got some things in there that you can use to manage relationships. There's some free CRM software packages out there. I've heard Zoho is pretty popular. Personally, I use HubSpot. It's not but $50 a month, and it's a great tool to take notes, keep track of when I've last talked to people, reminders to follow back up, recording emails I've sent to them, messages, those kind of things. So I would definitely find some sort of CRM system to be able to manage these relationships. And I guess I would add to that. Remember, your relationships need to go deep, not wide. You're not going to get referrals from everybody because you just simply don't run in the same center of influence of people. I'm in the marketing business, so I'm more likely to find referrals from my friends in radio and TV advertising. Um, Less likely to find something from my friends that are chiropractors, dentists, and doctors because we're just not talking to the same people. So, so find other people that you can get into a deep relationship with that don't sell your product, but sell to the same people you're selling to. Get in a symbiotic relationship with them and go deep, not wide.
So here's a question. What advice would you give others regarding growing in empathy and a desire to help the consumer? So vision, mission, etc., versus simply trying to get more business.
I think it goes back to the beginning of you just have to have a helpful heart in the beginning, and you have to just kind of internalize that and make that a way of life for you that you truly feel the first thing you need to do is to be helpful to people. And it can be as simple as a handwritten thank you note. Um, in the old days, we used to cut an article out of the newspaper, put it in an envelope, lick it, put a stamp on it, and send it. And now you can just click the hyperlink, paste it in, send it on. I found this article, thought about you. That's it. No selling, just help.
And Victor, I'm just going to take our personal conversations that we've had over the past month or so to help add some points to this question. I think find out what interests these people. I mean, obviously, Victor, you can see by this picture, is a musician. Wish he was day to day and every day in a rock band with the best hair in the world.
I think I was playing
But
play that funky music. I think that picture was.
That's the song. Okay, I'm imagining
I
that
think
right
so.
now. But Victor and I have chatted about music a lot. I was a music major in undergrad and more in the classical realm of music, but certainly a lot of my friends went on to performance careers, and I was just sending notes to Victor about some of the guys that I've played with and things, and he's sending back. And so I think it's just sharing your interests and finding what common denominators you all have. Doesn't always have to be what you do work wise and thinking work along those, just like, Victor told a lot about in his bio, not just about what he did as a professional, but what he does for his community and what he cares about with his family. And I think that's where I think some of the best bonds of for referral potential will develop. And I think that's the empathy that you were referring to. Um, so I just wanted to add that. Sorry about
Yeah, good
jumping
point.
in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it makes it easy to refer people. I mean, find out what they like to do and get people connected. I mean, the most obvious one is golf. If you like to play golf, get people out on the golf course now. But keep in mind, maybe some people are not good golfers, and my gosh, don't throw me out there with a scratch golfer. Me personally, please don't put me out there with a scratch golfer. I will totally embarrass myself out there. But if somebody's just a rec player, I'd love to go out and play some golf. Maybe some people like public speaking. But if somebody hates public speaking, oh my gosh, please don't refer me. Hey, I got you a public speaking job gig in front of 500 people. And if you don't like public speaking, you're you're not going to be very appreciative of that. So learn what they do like, but also learn what they don't like.
Great. Great advice to conclude with. I think, why don't we give a few minutes here before the holiday weekend to let people get on to some business activity and maybe follow up with one another. I've already seen a few posts to the LinkedIn group. I hope some of you have completed the survey, and I did put the switchboard link up there. So please take a moment to join us and to post and to comment to others. I think this is a tool that will be very valuable for the future for our alumni community. Again, it's exclusive for William Mary alumni. So it will be something that students will look forward to as becoming alumni, but you are the representatives of helping one another and supporting our great tribe network. Um, Victor, thank you on behalf of all of us in the tribe family. Thank you, and look forward to continued opportunities to network in the future.
Great. Thanks. Go Tribe.
Go tribe.